It is Tuesday morning. Markets open up in a few hours. What shape are we going to be in, Tom Piotrowski?
Pete, we're going to take a bit of a bump lower this morning. The futures are pointing to a decline of a little under 0.75%, which is, I suppose, in line with the tone that we've seen in Northern Hemisphere markets. There has been an interesting response to the latest trade progress that has been made. You've seen European markets, for example, which were ground zero for this, start at their best levels of the session but end lower by a decent margin. In the case of the pan-European stock 600, that measure was down by around 0.8%, having been up by 0.5% in early trade. US markets started off at their best levels of the session generally and ended around their worst levels of the day. The Dow Jones down by 0.1%. The S&P 500 managed to only gain a point but still hitting record levels in the process. The Nasdaq up by 0.33%. Technology stocks stood out with the biggest improvements, up by 1.5%, and that's driven by suggestions that curbs on chip sales to China might be lifted in the context of the trade negotiations that are taking place. So it's a pretty fluid landscape, but by and large, the reason that you're seeing this caution at the moment is that the markets are running into the teeth of an event storm over the course of the next couple of days. They are having everything thrown at them but the kitchen sink in terms of corporate news. You've got central bank meetings on interest rates. You've even got bond auctions to boot. Corporate results will feature heavily, particularly from the marquee technology names. So amidst all of that, you're seeing a little bit of caution on the part of investors as we try to navigate the next couple of days successfully. But one of the big movers has been oil, up by about 2% overnight, driven by the idea that Donald Trump has imposed a deadline on the conflict as it relates to Russia and the Ukraine, and the suggestion being that there will be secondary sanctions applied to Russian oil, meaning that if you're using contraband Russian oil, you'll get sanctioned as well. So that's part of the reason why you've got those oil prices bucking up the way they have.
Alrighty, Tom Piotrowski, thank you.